Okay, Drone Pool here. I'm back with the motors installed and flight controller in, XT60 and condenser on. I don't know what the issue is. With all these builds, well, this is my third one, but on each one I've really struggled getting a good solder joint on the XT60. The small pads seem to go fine, no issues, but the big ones, I don't know. So they're pretty ugly, but they're on there. They're working. I got an idea what to do next time, but I think it'll work for now. I got the XT60 secured with a zip tie, just so no pressure will pull it off the board. I'm kind of liking them black motors on there. I really am. And then I'll have a black camera, so that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. One thing I want to talk about real quick that we haven't talked about yet is this smoke stopper. Now what this does, it kind of lets you know if there is a short somewhere on your board, and then you need to go back and try and figure out where the short's at. So now I know a lot of guys will go ahead and they will solder their whole board, and then before they power it up they will use the smoke stopper, and if this lights up you got a short. So at that point they have to go through their entire board and figure out where the short is. So here's what I do. Every time I solder one thing on the board, I check it with the smoke stopper, make sure that part is good, because I'd hate to get through the whole build, solder all the ESCs, the camera, the receiver, the VTX, the buzzer, and then you plug this in and you got a short, and you got to go look through all that stuff and try and figure it out. So I use this every time I solder one thing on the board, just so I know I'm good up to that point. Now another thing I do is these bulbs, this is just a tail light bulb, they can be pretty fragile. So I need to make sure that it works every time I use it. So I take a battery, plug it in one end, and then I take this wire and just complete the circuit to see if the bulb lights up, so I know if it's good or not. And if the bulb lights up like that, I know it's good to go. Because if your bulb doesn't work, using the smoke stopper is not going to help you at all. Okay, so now I need to check and make sure that this soldering job is a-okay and there's no shorts there. So plug one end into the quad, you take your other end to the battery, and as soon as you plug it in, if you see the bulb light up, pull your battery out. Okay, the flight controller is powering on. I don't know if you can see the lights, and the bulb is not lighting up, so there's no shorts there, so I'm good. So I'll do that on every ESC just to make sure that one part is good. So yeah, I'm liking how this looks so far. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. So my next step is going to be the ESCs. There's quite a yeah, I have to figure out how I'm going to do this, and I'm thinking I'm going to run the wires like underneath the board and then back out. I had this on here a minute ago. Let's see if I can do this again. So I'm thinking of mounting the ESC like this, And bring these wires out from underneath and over like that. I'm thinking, I don't know if you can see that, I'm thinking that would be a clean way to do it, instead of just, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking of doing. We'll see. I could just go straight like this, but I did that on the last one. I really didn't like how it turned out, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. And then I'll talk about these wires. Of course, the red goes to the positive pad and the black goes to the negative. This white wire, you need to cut this. This is your signal wire, and then you just ground that other black wire to the same pad as this ground. So, what is that? So, that's my next step. Get the ESCs on. And then once I get the ESCs on, after that, it's basically just the camera, the VTX, the buzzer, and the receiver. And that's it. About done. But these will take a little bit. And then what I'm going to do, I have this little receiver tray that my buddy, we'll call him Mr. T. You know who he is. Put this receiver tray on top here. Then my receiver will sit in here, and I can run I've done rubber bands, or you can do a zip tie and hold your receiver right in this tray right here. So that's pretty cool. So yeah. And then I think I'm just going to mount this big old buzzer right here on the back. And then, yeah. So, yeah, we're getting there. So I'll go ahead and get these ESCs mounted, and then we'll come back and we'll go from there. Alright. Oh, I did put those little dampening, you can't see them in the camera, but I put those little black dampening pads, vibration pads in between the motor and the frame. This has got a little bit of weight to it, just like this. So far I'm happy with how it's turning out. And I was able to get a couple flights in today. I flew one with the Tyro 99, and I flew Mellow Yellow, did a couple of acro flights, so that was cool. And I want to give a shout out real quick to my friend Raymond Millwood. He sent me a surprise in the mail today. Raymond, you didn't have to. I appreciate you doing that, man. That means a lot to me, so thank you, Raymond. I'm going to put a link in the description below to Raymond's channel. Go check him out. I'd appreciate it. I'm sure he would. So, alright. So, that's where we're at on this one. I'll come back, and we'll have the ESCs installed when I come back. We'll go from there. Alright. Thanks for hanging. This is Drone Pool, signing out. I need to get it pictured.